Hello, everybody. Welcome to the second episode of Forecast Internationals. My name is Sofia, and I'm here with Nick, and we are both students of the International Faculty of Informatics and Statistics at FIS.
And our guest here today is Edgar Rodriguez. He's a former student of our faculty, and he studied in the English-taught Master's Program of Information Systems Management and graduated in the year 2020. Edgar stayed in Prague after his graduation. He had his own business, consulting company, focusing on the implementation of AI, and he speaks Czech quite well. He is a citizen now, and today we'll be discussing more topics in detail about Edgar. Hi, Edgar.
Hello, guys. Thanks for having me.
Forecast Internationals, your international voice at FIS. From where are you originally from?
I'm originally from the Dominican Republic. It's an island in the Caribbean. Quite far from here.
And why would you come all the way halfway across the globe from the Caribbean to Prague? Why?
Originally, I wanted already to do master's degree even before I came here. So before 2017, I'm already 9 years here. And it's quite common that people from my home country go to the US because it's quite close. It's as well big community of people there. Or in Europe to Spain because of the language, the culture as well is very similar. But I wanted totally something different from that. Somewhere where the language is different, where there's as well different people, different culture than what I'm used to. So that's what I think first made me get here, as well the master's in IT management. It's where I wanted to focus on.
And if you could sum it up, what were the best things and the worst things that you encountered when you came here?
In terms of best, I think quite a lot of them. I would say, quite a lot of opportunities in all aspects as well, both professionally, personally, in terms of friendships, knowledge that I've gotten, especially in the university and at the different working experiences that I've gotten in Prague, that I would say quite grateful for, as well the exposure that it has given me, the mindset as well, I would say for me changed after coming here and kind of seeing the world, people in general, I would say in a different way. On the, let's say, worst parts, the only thing maybe that I would miss maybe is the weather. That might be a bit different. It's obviously quite different here, but yeah, other than that, I think I'm a bit adapted already after 9 years here.
And you mentioned the mindset. What do you mean by that? Is there a Czech mindset or Dominican Republic mindset? I feel like there is the Czech stereotype for people.
Yeah, definitely. And I think at first it's a struggle, especially coming from very different backgrounds or cultures in general. In the Dominican Republic, where, let's say, people are really warm and open in the sense of, as well, let's say, compared to here, maybe it might be even a bit aggressive in a way. Whereas here, it's a bit more distance and calm at the same time. But I find that even with time, to understand why that is, I think, and going back in the history and learning why as well that is, you get to probably understand and work with people in this way better once you understand why and how to work, have friends here, have mentors.
Okay, I think we can move to one of our good topics, which is the studies at FIS.
What I'm most curious about is, now while you work in AI, you studied at the school before the whole modern AI thing. It was big, the ChatGPT and all these other large language models. In any way, did the school help you for actually working in AI? Would you say the school helped with that?
I think it was, back in my second semesters, where I would say was the beginning for it. We had a class related to entrepreneurship, and it was even taught at the business accelerator office in the campus. I remember that we did a project related to a chatbot. It was, let's say, not particularly to what AI is right now, but it was, I think, at the very start, at the very beginning, and let's say, at least getting a glimpse, a sense of what that world would be. And I think that was maybe the start as well, connected to maybe what I do now in terms of having your own business, having your own, entrepreneurship opportunities as well quite helped with it.
Is there like a specific thing like of education that helps you with your career just in general, like outside of AI specifically, but in your whole general career outside of school, like when you graduated school, went to work, was there any skills that the school gave you?
Definitely. As I was mentioning before, related to entrepreneurship, that was one. The mindset and the skills on what you need, start your own business, own career. I did a minor in consulting as well. The consulting aspects on when you go to a company as a consultant, or if you do have your own business as a consultant, how to go through it, the things you need to do as a consultant from A to Z was as well the first exposure and the first knowledge that I got from it was here, and that helped me, I would say, quite a lot. One of the things as well that I still take into account, design thinking, that we had classes here around that. So and it was connected more as well, how to work with different people, different environments, and how to go through as well strategy, connected business to our area in general. So yeah.
And if you could somehow say how difficult it was for you to find a job when you came to Prague, or did you have a job during your studies or only afterwards?
Well, for me, I was working. So it was not hard at all. I changed jobs even before finishing, and then as well once I finished. So for me, it was not a problem.
And then you worked in an international company. I assume you didn't have any Czech requirements or work experience requirements. Did you work in your field already, or was it something that you studied before?
It was already in the, let's say, IT field that I had experience in. I remember though that, let's say, that my first working experiences here was more as well on a junior level, even though I had years and years of experiences, just let's say before I didn't have the experience here. So I think employers would find maybe good that, you get some experience as well in companies here. And then even though you already have years added on, let's say from your back home, then it would add upon that. But yeah, I worked in, let's say, different multinational companies already here in Prague, and as well Czech companies.
In the workplace, we're always speaking English. So what actually motivated you to start learning Czech instead and move to integrating in that way?
Yeah, I think it was mainly by the end of my studies, because as well, while working and studying at the same time, I think time was quite limited, and it was as well quite hard to take, let's say, these three things. I, let's say, did have exposure to Czech at the university or slowly in different places, but I started to getting serious with it after having a little bit more time once the studies were already by the end. I was doing my thesis, so I didn't have so much classes. I was just mainly focused as well on work. So I slowly had exposure to it. I remember my first classes that I took were given from my work. So they had it, let's say, as a benefit that they had a teacher coming there for as well the foreign people that were working there. So that, let's say, was the first time I got, let's say, serious with it. Then after my studies completely ended, then I was able to get even more full time with it. That was during as well COVID times, so we had quite a lot of time as well back then in our hands. So I as well started to let's say work on my own, getting a bit more exposure to listening things in Czech or reading things or watching maybe some movies as well. I have some Czech friends, so as well being around them, even though they would speak English when I would be there, they would speak in Czech between them, so I would get the exposure. And then after that, I was even more, let's say, motivated and wanting to as well learn it fully and start, let's say, using it on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm. So about how much time did it take for you to actually become more comfortable using it on a daily basis? If you're even comfortable yet, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
so.
I think definitely, yeah. I don't think now it's not a problem, luckily. But I think it took, it was a journey for me.
Of course.
I would say comfortably 2 years at least of, let's say, it was, let's say, a bit on and off dedication, but fully I would say year and a half of like taking courses 2-3 times per week, dedicating a few hours of going into classroom and doing homeworks and really drilling into it for me. I think to then start to be really comfortable that, I can go to a restaurant, I can order, go to supermarket, I don't have any problem asking for anything.
And if you looked back on like what you learned just from the learning Czech aspect, what would you do? What would you do differently?
What would I do differently? I think get even more exposure from the beginning. Try to make more mistakes, because that's how you learn. Speaking maybe more instead of focusing on the maybe grammar aspects or trying to get everything perfectly from the start. So I think getting yourself confident. I think confidence is quite one of the biggest, most important things for learning any language in general.
And was there something that when you came to Prague, this is more related to like you coming here and you finally know Czech, so you're kind of like feeling more comfortable. Let's say this is how we like at this phase of life. Was there still something that was like unfamiliar in Prague or like unexpected that kind of like took more time than just learning the language and then just being here to get used to?
Yeah, I think understanding obviously the mindset and the culture probably around how people are and how they, let's say, operate in this sense in either working in environments, in their daily lives, and the people close to you, in your area, in your environment. I think that takes maybe quite a while, especially if you're from different cultures that are, let's say, not close to Czech, let's say, Czech cultures. Yeah, I think learning more about the mindset of people and how they are. That's what maybe can take a little bit more time and to adjust and understand.
And after it was 9 years, right?
Yeah.
So after 9 years, do you still feel like a foreigner, or do you feel like maybe feel more like you're fitting in now?
I mean, I think definitely now after this time, I feel more local in this sense. I feel more connected to the different aspects of, let's say, Czech life. Overall, I think the language obviously helps quite a lot with it. It's, let's say, opening another door, another universe in this sense, because you can understand, see, hear things in a very different way than just being in a, let's say, English-speaking bubble. And you go, I would say, more deeper into the society, the culture, the Czech environment overall.
You are a citizen of Czech Republic now, is that right?
Yeah, from last year.
And can I ask how hard it was to obtain the citizenship?
I would say it was a process, definitely. I mean, especially with the language exams that need to be done, and as well, let's say, the bureaucracy around that. Yeah.
What level is the necessary requirement? B1, okay.
And then the exam has, let's say, different parts ranging from speaking, writing, listening, and so let's say it's spread across reading as well.
So since you passed the exam, we can give a little bit of tester. Can you please say something in Czech?
33. No, jmenuji si Edgar. Jsem z Dominikanské republiky a líbí se mi v Praze.
Okay. Nice to hear.
So moving on to your business, well, first let's just start with what is this business? Why did you decide to start it?
It was relatively new, let's say, a couple of months, or already from last year. I was already thinking, after as well almost 14 years working in different companies, different places, on starting my own adventure, my own thing. I think AI or the AI times accelerated a lot this because of what nowadays we can do with it. Let's say the company is called Alumni. It's a project, let's say, that I have with a friend of mine as well, who's in the AI area, and we bring implementation design solutions to any type of companies in terms of AI implementation, AI solutions, or as well if companies already have their own implementation in place on how they can get the most out of those tools, automate processes, save time, save costs. This is the main, the main focus of it.
And you do basically anything with AI, just any algorithm, anything, or do you specialize in something specific like large language models, or do you do like some other types?
Yeah, it's mainly around large language models and machine learning. So as well, we with machine learning, We touch a little bit of image processing, data analysis, object tracking as well, but it's more as well connected to the LLMs.
And if I can ask, you also said that you have a full-time job next to this business of yours. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you think that there will be a time when you will just switch to either one of them? Or is it manageable still in the sense that you maybe prefer the stability that the full-time job can give you and the business is more of like a project that you're working on? Or will it, if the business eventually like scales to that size, that you will be employed by there or full-time only? Do you think that that's a vision for you to have, or is this something you're going to keep in the sense that you're going to be working in both at the same time?
I think initially, yes, because as well, I think when starting your own project, your own business, I think you need stability as well. It's important as well that you're, let's say, calm in that sense, and not rushing as well things, because as well, if that's the only thing you would have, which as well there are people that do that, I think you will have the need, let's say, to really go fast and forward. But I think for me, having, let's say, the as well working in a company or consulting for a business as a, let's say, job helps me as well with the business in this sense. So I have it like this at the start. Of course, I think the vision for the future and the idea would be that it could potentially as well, if things go well, why not become, let's say, my main focus. But as well, what I'm trying to do now is to as well connect what I as well maybe do in my job in terms of like knowledge and of experience as well, to connect it with things that could potentially help me as well later on with my business as well. So
relating more now to the skills that actually are needed both as a student at VŠE or as a person working in tech or in AI, what would you advise for students to focus on learning?
In general, I would say nowadays with AI, become a master in AI and how it works. Learn how it works, not only how to use it, even as well on learning how to use it, how to really use it, not just to write a prompt and do X task for me, but to really understand how it works. I think students especially would be at an advantage in coming years if they truly know, I don't know, prompt engineering, for example, that is something specific that you can apply for any subject nowadays. It would really come in hand, I think, for the future, to stay curious, and if you like where that goes, to then drill deeper into learning in terms of like algorithms or how things work inside of the AI, for example, in the, let's say, connected to the business side, then as well learn how to implement in your day-to-day task, in your day-to-day work as well, because then in the future you could as well potentially work with companies, work in places implementing those solutions. That's I think where we are headed, or if not where we are even nowadays slowly.
What skills would you suggest that we should learn outside the classroom, or like what's something maybe you wish you would have learned sooner or something?
I think as well nowadays soft skills are becoming more important. So communication, critical thinking as well are areas where the earlier that you learn them, the better it is. And as well, since we are already in the kind of like AI times, it will come more and more handy, especially the communication, learn how to communicate with people in general, how to work with different people, and how to critically think as well. Because as well, AI would be doing certain tasks, certain things for us in this sense, but you need to as well think critically how to use it, how to bring the results, how to communicate these results as well. So I think that these would be quite important skills to have.
So I agree with all of that. And to be honest, I think we've covered pretty much all the topics that we want to cover for today. So for our last closing questions, I just want to ask, do you have any advice for the current international students at VŠE?
Absolutely. I think stay hungry, stay curious for knowledge, curious in the sense of always wanting to know more. I think we're in one of the best times in our lifetime, full of opportunities. Things are out there. Yeah, I think the world is yours, and you need to see it this way and to go out and take it.
Well, thank you for your advice. And as the listeners heard, the world is your oyster. So next time, make sure to tune in to our episodes as well. And we hope that everyone enjoyed listening. And thank you again, Edgar. See you next time.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.